The album of the week we're going to be hearing later is called Colour My Life. It's Heather Small looking back over her career with an orchestra and some new stuff as well. Album of the week later, and choosing the tracks of his year's best-selling novelist, James Patterson. All coming up on Radio 2, BBC Sounds app, smart speaker and 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 11 o'clock. This is Adam Porter. Pay has fallen sharply relative to rising prices, according to the latest figures from the Office for National Statistics. While average wages rose by more than 4.5% between April and June, that was far outpaced by the rising cost of living. As a result, the real value of pay fell by 3%. Gerard Lyons from the investment firm NetWealth says inflation could spiral if bosses pass on the cost of pay rises to customers.
In terms of the wage component, we still have a big difference between where inflation is and where wages are. Now, from a policy perspective, the Bank of England clearly is trying to keep an eye on second round inflationary effects. That is, whether firms are passing on higher costs and whether wages are going to be bid up, adding to inflationary pressures.
Russian state media has reported explosions and a fire at a military base in Crimea. Videos on social media show large blasts in the northern part of the peninsula, which Moscow annexed 8 years ago. Our correspondent Hugo Bashega is in Kiev.
Russian state media saying that emergency services are now evacuating people from this region. We can't independently verify those accounts, but obviously last Tuesday there were massive explosions at a military base, at a Russian military base in Crimea.
The rapper A$AP Rocky has been charged with assault with a firearm following a shooting in Hollywood last year. The musician is accused of firing a gun in the direction of a former friend who sustained a minor injury during an argument in November. After weeks of hot and dry conditions, many parts of the country are finally experiencing wet weather. There are warnings of heavy downpours and thunderstorms for England, Wales and much of Scotland in the coming days. Some parts of Devon and Cornwall have experienced flash flooding as the dry ground struggles to absorb the rain. Siobhan Doyle from the University of Reading says the wet conditions are unlikely to cure the drought many areas are experiencing.
Unfortunately, these thunderstorms are only going to be short bursts of rainfall. You see, what we need now is we need longer periods of a continuous period of like light drizzly rain to really stop those floodings and then increase the reservoir levels and the river levels.
Ryanair has announced plans to add more than 500 flights at Stansted Airport during the October half-term holidays, after Heathrow extended its cap on passenger numbers. The airline said the extra flights would allow 100,000 passengers to get away during the break. A zoo in Hertfordshire has announced that its endangered red panda called Tilly has given birth to a cub. Staff at Paradise Wildlife Park described the new arrival as a symbol of hope after the father, a red panda called Nam Pang, died in June. The cub, known as Little Red, was born a month ago and is said to be healthy and doing well. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 11.
Listen live on the BBC Sounds app.